Starting off 33.29 is our miles. We got def level at 100%. Trailer just loaded up. Can't see very much. I guess you could. 33.29. Let's go ahead and set our trip meter here. All right, reset right there. Official towing start point. We are on our way to Las Vegas right now. We have an event, muscle cars at the strip. We're taking the Camaro there. Back to the road. 16 miles per gallon currently. It's been mostly flat roads, so let's not get too excited about that, but we'll continue on. We have 357 miles to go, 4.5 hours of driving. We already lost a bar. We've gone 53, 54 miles now. We're at 94% on the iDash. Chugging it. Our DEF consumption is through the roof. We're already getting warnings. Plummeting like crazy. We're at 92% though, but this is nuts. I don't even think we've gone 100 miles. 72.5 miles in, towing. We already got our DEF warning. That's nuts. This grade's actually steeper than the previous ones, and I should have recorded at the beginning of it, but here we are on our temps, still looking good, 1,052. All right, we're getting DEF warnings. Once again, we're down to DEF range 297 miles remaining, showing 82%. I think we've got an issue there, and I really hope this isn't gonna speed limit me, because that would be a huge issue while we're towing. As you can see, we are still 220 miles away from our destination. And at that point in time, I will be topping this off, filling it up. We'll see what it takes. It's probably going to take at least 3 gallons of DEF fluid, but for this warning to keep popping up like this, we had 999 pop up, I don't know, 50 miles ago. So we got something going on here. All right, we got something funny about to take place here. 27.9 was my previous best, not towing, just regular driving, and we are towing. And we're on the 50-mile range. We just crossed the 28.0 mile per gallon. So we're actually getting better fuel mileage over a 50-mile span than I was on my normal driving. That's crazy. Now, I know there's a lot to do with downhills, but we also had uphills in there. So keep that in mind, but it just keeps climbing up. Entering into Arizona, we are bringing our high fuel efficiency numbers. All right, first stop. We're not going to check this in on the Fuelie app, but let's go through. What do we got? We're going to fill this up, but we're 315.2 miles, 18.2 miles per gallon, 68.6 average mile per hour. DEF level 77%. Not sure if I'm going to fill it up right now or not. Maybe. All right, so miles are 3644. Okay, so the fill up was 18.730 gallons, $4.19. All right, we're driving into a headwind as well as like a side wind. It's been mega windy, but you can see these temps right here, nearly 300 degrees. It's been like that for quite some time. A few miles away from PPE. We drove past the racetrack already. Here we are outside of PPE headquarters. Just dropped off the trailer. We are exiting the track. Got our DEF warning per usual. Look at that, 29.3 was our best. 50 mpg distance right there. 35 mpg was our best on a 25-mile average. Those are some crazy numbers, but we're at 37.27 was our end miles. And let's get over to what it says for, there's our DEF fluid showing 71% up top on the bank's iDash. Now let's get to right there, 399 miles, total distance 17.9 miles per gallon, 62.6 miles per hour was our average. That's pretty darn cool. 17.9 mpg towing, and we were towing into a wind. Just hit regen, DPF regen percentage, hit 100%. My soot level was not at 100%. I know that, but I don't recall what the number was right before it did go. We're not too far from the track, so we won't be able to complete this regen, but this is our very first regen on the trip. And I assume this will be the last on our trip. We're at 67% on our def level. We've used quite a bit. Just filled up. 3871 is the current miles. We are in Las Vegas. We just left the track, filled up $53.61, 12.470 gallons of diesel fuel, and our def range is sitting on 1213, 66% def level. We are in regen once we start going again, so we're going to complete this regen. We are not towing currently, just filling up, but we're going to grab the car and the trailer tomorrow morning. All right, leaving the hotel. This is our Monday return trip, 3882 miles. No trailer right now. We're on our way to the track to get the trailer. Def range 1191 just went up, sitting on 67%. I did get some def fluid. We're gonna fill this up right before we leave and see how this reacts to that. Once I started using all that def, every time I start up the truck, it gives me this notification of how many miles I have remaining. Def range 1213 miles. I am going to top this off before we go. We'll discuss that in just a minute, but I wanted to show this def range. Now this won't show up for any other time except for whenever it's scared that you're gonna run out of def fluid. So if you don't have this on your truck, that's because you haven't run it low enough or towing hasn't freaked out the system enough. All right, so with all the warnings going on and everything, I decided to stop and buy some blue def right here. The pump did not have it at the pump. Obviously, that's the cheapest way to go. Now, this was $30-something. I'll have to find the receipt, but I believe it was $31 for this. All right, we are definitely full. All right, it's gonna go in the truck. Let's see how much we actually used. Easily 2 gallons, just over 2 gallons used right there. Definitely less than half a gallon left. Let's throw this in the truck so it's not in direct sunlight and move on. All right, here's our def receipt. It is $31.53 total, $29.09 for that 2.5 gallon blue def platinum. All right, so it noticed that we filled up with def because this is reading 94%, but we know that's at 100% because I just overflowed it out the side. We'll double check that in a moment, but we no longer have our warning indicator coming on, so it noticed. I wonder how much def fluid you really need to put in there for it to notice that you made a change, and maybe that will get it to reset itself quicker. Don't know, but let's actually see what this is reading now. Almost full on the def fluid level. We're gonna spin around and go grab the car. All right, we are hooked up onto the trailer, topped off a little bit more. I want to see 100% out of that thing. Let's get rolling. All right, my top off brought us up to 100%, and that still hasn't registered 100%, but I trust the Banks iDash more than I trust the Dash. If Banks can give you a percentage like this, why can't the Dash, is what I'm wondering. But anyway, let's get on the road. We're leaving Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and away we go. We've got 394 miles to drive, 100% def level. Fuel tank is 100% as well because we just filled that up. And range is 445 miles. We will stop and get fuel one more time at some point, I'm sure. Goodbye, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Hooray! All right, so we made it to St. George, Utah with our very first def range warning, and we are just ticking down as we continue to go. I showed the map earlier. Here's what the map is reading right now. 286 miles to go, so I think if we made it just over 100 miles, we did have to climb up some hills to get out to this area, and right now we are on a moderate steady grade, and so we are just ticking down with the def. Our def level is 95-96%, so after losing 4 to 5% of our def, the system is freaking out. So let's see how many miles we have gone. I don't know, I kind of like that this is just ticking down. I wonder how low it's going to go, but I have to clear the screen like this. Let's scroll down to see how many miles we've gone on this trip because we have not stopped yet. Def level bars have not even changed. 110 miles we've gone, and it gives us the 1,000-mile warning. We'll continue on and see what it does. Stopping for, we're gonna fill this up so that way we're good to go for the rest of the trip. We're gonna let this cool down while we take a look at how much we drove this time. So def fluid showing 1 bar down, def level 88%. We're not going to touch the def at all. So we drove 178.2 miles, averaging 13.2 miles per gallon, and we have roughly 216 left to go. However, we got to stop to drop off the trailer and pull the car off, so it's going to actually be less. So these miles are going to change next time we get in the truck. All right, receipt from our fill up right now, 4.089 per gallon, 15.579 gallons. Let's fire this up, see if we get our def warning on here and how many miles it says we have. So far, no warning. All right, I think we are safe right now. It's happy with the 87%, which makes no sense. There's our notification. We have been climbing up another grade. We've got 296 miles of def range, and we are sitting on 73% of def level. So 296 miles remaining, 153 miles. Now remember, I did top this off all the way up to the tippy top. So we are chugging def again, and I don't think it's as bad as the ECM thinks. But yeah, so that's what we're working with here. We'll see how this continues. All right, so we're climbing once again here. Def range 292. EGTs are starting to climb right there. See if this def range changes at all. So far, no change. Very interesting how it chooses when to drop drastically and when it doesn't. All right, we got def range 419, so our ending miles is 4292. All right, we are at 70% def level remaining. 418 miles def range is what's showing up on the dash. 4292 is our finishing miles. Let's go ahead and take a look at our, I don't think we improved on these at all. Change to 25, that's 35, so yeah, that hasn't changed. We had a nasty headwind coming in the whole way home, which is surprising that we actually still have 70% def remaining. So we used roughly the same, maybe a smidge more, because we did some regular driving around. But let's go down to total miles driven, and then that's gonna say, all right, 963.2 total miles, 16.7 miles per gallon. We'll go ahead and calculate this up. We're gonna fill this up right now, and then we'll calculate it and see how close we are to that number.